Well, today we're going to feature Fabulous Folded's brand new Clever Twist card cutting dies. And let me show you what it does. So you ready? Just like that. You can see how that twist is happening. And it is clever and it's brand new. Please join us for our brand new webisode. Well, Clever Twist is what we're calling these new dies. Now, they do go inside the card, and as I showed you, it's going to create this, and very, very fun. Now, there are 3 dies, and you can see this is the mechanism that creates the twist. This is a piece that connects here, and there's a label that you can use to apply your decorations to. So let me show you how this works, and as always, the instructions are on the back of the wallet that holds the dies. There are illustrations as well as the text, so very easy. You're going to die cut one out of each of these dies, and it's going to look like this, and this, whoops, and this. Okay, so let me pull these away. And as I said, this is the mechanism. So I'm going to turn it this way because that's the way it is on the packaging. And you're going to use, this is 1/2 inch wide extra sticky tape. You could certainly use 1/4 inch and just place them next to each other. And you want to have it covered the top flap and the bottom one. And then on these 2 side areas. And the way that you're going to fold them, because you can see that there's all of these score lines. And according to our diagram, we're going to make valley fold at the top, so you can see that valley, and at the bottom. And also in the center, this is going to be a valley fold. Now, these diagonal score lines, those are going to be mountains, so like that and like that. And then we're going to attach, there it is, this piece to it. So let me just set this down and show you how that goes. So when you squish these, you're going to see that these 2 will come together. And did you see how that just goes? So you have these 2 come together, and then that will fold in. And then you have these 2 flaps. Well, those 2 flaps, by the way, bone folder is going to come in very, very handy. So you might want to have that at the ready and go over each of the score lines as you fold them. And this is one of those pieces that as you fold it, it will become easier for that to condense down because those will go in much easier. Okay, so then we are going to place this like so, and we're going to bring in this piece. Now this is the that rectangle. You're going to fold it in half like so. And we're going to position it, we're going to, let's see, let me turn this over. Okay, so I'm going to lift this piece, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to remove that liner and place this right here. And it's going to go just as far as you can. And then I'm going to close this and remove the liner on this side and position it just right there. Okay, so you're going to have a piece that will look like this. So you see those 2 pieces attached on each side, those 2 ends attached, and then this is going to flip. So you're going to end up placing this into your card. And what you do, here's my card, and I'm going to have this a vertical card. I'm going to open it up, and right in the middle, I'm going to take the liner off, and I'm going to place this down and just position that. I just want to make sure that it is straight. Then I'm going to remove that liner, close the card, and I will have my mechanism all attached. And just like I showed you on the finished card, this is what it will do. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Then you can attach the label, which is right here. After you get that mechanism in place, you can attach the label. You can use it or you can not use it, whichever you like. So that's all you have to do. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that if you are an A2 fan, this mechanism will work right inside that. So that's going to work. If you like slimline, here is the slimline. As you know, that's 3.5 by 8.5. This is going to stick out a little bit. So if you wanted to use that when you have this piece, simply trim, about 1/4 of an inch off, and then you can put this into your slimline cards. So slimline, A2, and our regular 5 by 6.5 cards. So that's nice to know that it's going to really use in lots of different formats. So we like that. I'm going to set this aside and let me show you what Debbie has done as she has been working with this. And here is her first card. This too is a vertical card, and she has used the Botanical Library. This is the 6 by 6. And you can see on her card, because this is 6.5 inches tall, that she did ink the top and the bottom. She used the Velvet Fawn and her blending brush to apply that, just to give kind of that vintage look, which is just lovely. And then she added this pink paper, just beautiful, trimmed it to fit. And then she used the pink border dazzles, and you can see that at the top and at the bottom. Really, really nice, just as a nice finishing edge. Now, in the Botanical Library, you have tons of cutouts, and she has torn the edges and inked them with the Velvet Fawn and placed them at opposite corners. And then this piece is about 3 inches long and about 1/2 inch wide. And you can see that she cut a V, and she also inked those. Works nicely. Now, this center area, she has used the Botanical Library die cuts. And so this oval is part of that. You can kind of see it right there. Now, the You Are Amazing, that is one of the cutouts in the Botanical Library. She's foam taped both of these in place. Now, if you're wondering about those beautiful flowers, those come from the chipboard, the Botanical Library chipboard. And you can see the chipboard right there. And what she has used are the tri-blend markers. So she has used, let me see, the bright pink, and you can see that beautifully done at the tops of them. She's used the pale pink, and that's maybe for the centers. The light green is, of course, the stems, and the purple is just right on the edges. So lots of color, lots of dimension, but you know what we want to do is get inside. So let me show you. Just pops up like so. And isn't that a pretty kind of format for her? So these stripes are also, of course, part of the library, Botanical Library, as is this strip is one of the die cuts, and this is just a piece of the paper in the corner. All of those pink dazzles, this is more of the chipboard, and you can just see how beautifully and easily they color. Gorgeous. A happy note for you, that is a die cut, and doesn't it fit nicely on that label? And that label is just centered on the forward facing side of that rectangle. So that's going to do just really nice, don't you think? Okay, we will add that to our list of ideas. Now, let's go to a horizontal card. Yes, it's going to work here too. Let me pop this open. And you can see now what she did here, she did not use that label. This is that rectangle that we folded and attached to the piece. And notice everything is the same background that she has used. Now in this case, she used the stained glass, and this is the 6 by 6. She did trim her card down to be 6 inches by 5 inches, so that way she can use her 6 by 6 paper right on it. This too has that same dazzle, the pink one. And there is, I think we're into pink this time with these two cards. Here is a pink strip that is also from the stained glass. Now the stained glass, like the Botanical Library, has 224 cutouts, both of them do. And they have these large cutouts and then smaller ones. And I'll show that to you here. You can see the cutouts. They're bees is what she's showing. Sending sweet thoughts your way. Well, that is also one of the die cuts. And you can see it right there, foam taped on top of these two, and that black border is just really nice. Now when I open this, you can see that she has added a sheet of the 6x6 at the top and at the bottom. She did not cover the score line because that allows the papers to, they won't buckle that way. Now, as I said, she die cut this piece out of that same paper, and then also that rectangle. But what I thought was interesting is that she used 2 die cuts here, just on each side. So let me see that. Okay, here we go. So what she did is she simply used and applied this on the inside and simply used these 2 pieces. On the first 2 cards, that label was attached and decorated, but in this case she simply used the rectangle, and you can see 2 of the die cuts are going to fit nicely, little purple ribbon to accent it. You can see more of the dazzles and more of those beautiful stained glass cutouts. Missing You and You Are Loved are also part of the die cuts. Now, and this just really gives lots of space for you to see this as it pops open. So that's gorgeous. So we have a vertical and a horizontal card. In this case, now for our third card, we have yet a 5 by 6.5 inch card. And this is using At the Lake, which is a brand new release. But first, let me show you what's going on inside. And there we go. Now this one also is just, it's not using the label, it's just using that rectangle. But what's different here is how Debbie has allowed this die cut to really extend off the top of that rectangle. So let me show it to you like that. See how high that is? And it does a really nice job of kind of exploding out of the center of the card. Okay, let me show you what she used. So this, again, as I said, is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. She is using the brand new collection of At the Lake, and this is the 6 by 6 papers. So she used the blueberry ink pad with the blender brush to color the edges, top and bottom, so that worked nicely. And then she placed or glued her paper on the right in the center. Now, to give a little bit of shine, she edged it top and bottom with the gold thin line dazzle. So that just creates a really nice little border. This Thank You for Your Kindness, that is from At the Lake die cuts, and that's a really nice size. She has foam taped that in place. And there's some little kind of diamonds right there that also came out of the dazzles. She has trimmed them down, so there you go. Now on the inside of her card, wow, how fun is that? That is really fun. Now you can see that she's used 2 sheets of similar paper. She has cut them down. They meet in the middle, but they do not go over the score line. And this is a border from the die cuts. In fact, let me just show you. It's right here. So she has trimmed it to fit in the middle and just let that be the horizons, so to speak. Now you can see the trees, the lake, as well as the ground. Those were all done with the cutting dies. Isn't that nice? So you can see there's even some mountains in there. But there are the trees, and there is this is the lake that went right in here. She's done some inking of those, again, the blueberry and also the khaki. So that's done a nice job. And then she also went back to what she used on that first card with the velvet fawn. These are just widely used, especially the velvet fawn and the khaki. So you can see that we've got this kind of foggy scene with the papers, and then we've got the trees and the lake and this horizon line. Another die cut right here, and then the die cuts, there's 1, 2, 3 on that rectangle. Oh, and she did one on the back too. Oh, cute. So that's nice. So you can see it does, and there's another of the border dazzles right there. You can see that flash. So just really pops in there. Just very, very nice. Oh, she did, I didn't tell you, but in using those cutting dies, she did use At the Lake solid cardstock. Of course, she needed that. So you have seen so many ways to use this wonderful cutting die. we have the Clever Twist card cutting dies, and there is a money saver. In fact, we added these to the money saver, so that way you have it all ready to go. And one other thing I wanted to tell you is that we also have a subscription. The subscription looks like this. Now, if you are part of our subscribers, you will have received this for free, because that's what we do every single month. As a matter of fact, what I like to point out is if you join our subscription, and by the way, it's over on the right-hand side of the screen, you will see that every month you will get the cutting die, you will get a free gift. Also, you will save 10%. Now, if you couldn't see it right here, I thought I'd kind of really show it in big for you. You'll save 10%, you'll get the free gift, and you will receive this before the webisode. So you have an idea of what's going on, because you're going to get an idea on the package. So that always works nicely. Again, it's on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, the list of what Debbie used is down below with each of the cards, so that will make it easy for you. And I want to thank Debbie for just doing, as always, a lovely job and giving us lots of ideas. We like things that are versatile. I think you do too. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we hope that you will leave a comment. We hope that you will subscribe, because that helps us in our marketing position. And please head on over to paperwishes.com. Take a look at this and the projects, and decide if you'd like to join our subscription, or if this is just something you just know you can't live without. Clever Twist card cutting dies are this month's offering, and I want to thank you for joining us, and most importantly, for being the very best part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.